Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back to another Tucker Tuesday. What's going on, Chad? Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a lovely, fantastic, better day than I am out there today. I don't know what's going on. I was trying to fix whatever the issue is with my studio computer for like, oh shit, a good half an hour before the show started. It's either my mixer or hardware on the computer. But either way, it's one of those problems that feels expensive, if that makes sense. The fucking voice meter would just not recognized by the computer. I'd unplug it, plug it back in, it was working through monitor. Wasn't recognized by voice meter, wasn't recognized by Windows. I thought it was the cable too. I did, what is it called when you had to ask me 30 seconds ago. I could have told you what it was. I checked the microphone, I checked the cable, I checked the input, I checked the USB deck. What's the chain of something, I forget what it's called. But I did all of that, and it's either the fucking, what's it called, the actual thing, or the software all update, maybe. Derek LaRue gifting 10 memberships. Thank you, Derek. To Shadowclaw, Caro, Soldier, Frankie, Deller, Ginger Side, C. Thomas, Jacoby Irish, Temporal Singularity, Jen T. Maxi, BML. Thank you very, very much. The interface or the motherboard, I guess, but I don't think it's a motherboard, so I think it's the interface. That's gonna be a cool couple $100 if I have to replace that. What is that thing when you run through the issues, the chain something shit? You guys know what I'm talking about too, motherfucker. What the hell is it called? Troubleshooting? No, there's a term for it. I forget what it is. Not troubleshooting. It's like, is it the cable? No. Is it the microphone? No. Is it the software? Like, you go down the line. I forget what it's called. Jesus Christ. It's gonna bug the fuck out of me now. Hello, Joshua. How you doing? Have fun with your thing, Sinatra. Oh, I'm having a fucking blast over here. I bought this new interface in the end of December. Cannot return it. It's been 7 months. Checklist, no. Ah, shit, I don't remember. Maintenance, no. Diagnostic, maybe. There was a term for it. I forget what it is. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I'm very, very frustrated with this because this thing, I got it at the end of December. It's a new one. I got it so we could do Sexy Science Theater. So it was not fucking cheap. Like $350 fucking dollars. So I'm gonna have to take it to another computer, see if I have the same issues there with that one. I don't know. I really, really, really have a feeling it is the interface itself, because it was working yesterday. I had no problems with it yesterday. I was recording with it yesterday, and all my recording shit is on there. God, mother loving damn it. I need a cigarette. God damn it. Is there a way to merge chat? I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out. Is anyone having trouble watching? It's pausing on its own. Dude, look, I'm all green on my end, but I left my studio and I went on my home computer, so I don't know if you're having issues that's on your end. Oh, fuck, I need a God blessed cigarette. The last thing I need is a $300 in Prime Day deal. $41 fucking placement part. Oh, God, can we just all real quickly cross our fingers and toes that that's not the issue? My sister was able to do it. I'll take me on as soon as she did it. I can't hear with all these ketchup packets in my fucking ears. What the fuck? Warranty. Ooh, warranty. Good call. Your order. Focusrite. Scarlet. 8i8. Warranty. Alright, let's see. 3-year manufacturer's warranty. The warranty covers manufacturer's defects. Okay, so if it's fucked up, if they fucked it up. Focusrite will replace the product for free, ship it in 36 months. So I'd have to ship it to Focusrite, wait for them to return it. I cannot not have one of these things for... Okay. Now, you know what? I'll figure it out. I will figure it out all at a later time. I'm sorry for bitching and ranting and raving. I know we get shut down on YouTube sometimes for watching what Tucker does on Twitter, but I want to try a little bit of a different approach. We're going to watch it off of YouTube, and hopefully that'll be a little bit different. I saw that AWOOOO come in a second ago. I'm pulling it up now. Subsin and everybody else. So I found out a possible metal band. I don't know for sure. A band called Brothers of Metal. They have a unique style. They make Nordic stories out of their albums they made so far. Pretty unique band. I'll have to check that out. Thank you very much. Okay, let's do the thing. Let's do the... Thank you for the affiliate anniversary stuff, guys. Much appreciated. Satsu smells like dirty pee-pee. It's a funny name. Guys, please smash the like if you're on the YouTubes, if you're on the Twitches. Share it out on your social media. We're going to get into this. I'm sorry, frustrated, ranting, raving. If you want to support, Streamlabs is down below. We have all dope new Christmassy stuff. And we have a new Christmas stacker donation. And should you guys feel up to it, you could pre-order some upgrades for Friday's show. Yeah, should be good. All right, let's get into this.
I'm introducing him because the last time we were together at Heritage's 50th anniversary, he had a different job. But that's a momentous day this is in America.
Zero Gear, thank you very much for the 100 bits.
American history. President Trump, who personifies this movement, is alive and well.
Skip the intro.
But you look around and you see these people, and some of them really have paid a heavy price for telling the truth. And they are cast out of their groups, whatever those groups are, but they do it anyway. And I look on at those people.
How is the audio out there, guys?
With the deepest possible admiration. The people who run our country are destroying it, and they're doing it on purpose. What they've done at the border, completely changing the population of the country, letting in millions and millions of people. My role is to tell the truth to the extent I can see it. Always with the knowledge that we see everything, through a glass darkly. We don't see things clearly, but you do your best. And you cannot allow people to force you to lie, period. I have guns at home, and often on my person when I'm in the United States, I'm proud to say, because...
Audio is good enough, it's sufficient. Is it low or high? People are saying it's fine, it's okay.
I want to defend myself and those I love against violence. I'm defending what I love. And if you're against that, I guess I would ask why. Why would you be against that?
Well, so you don't think you harbor any kind of responsibility for these hate crimes?
The very first thing we should do.
Oh, here. Wait a minute.
I don't even know where I am. I just landed, and it took me an hour and a half to get here. There's a lot of security. All the security guys look like they should have been in Butler, PA on Saturday. They definitely brought the real ones out this time, thank heaven.
Do you think that they fired that lady that ran and hid when they took the shot at Trump? I cannot motherfucking believe that shit happened. Well, actually, yeah, I can. I can 100% believe that they took a shot at Trump. But they must have fired that broad. They should have.
Thank you for having me. I am thrilled to be here. I didn't want to come to this convention. Now I'm really grateful that I did. And I spent the whole day dealing with politics this day, starting at 5 a.m. And I forgot how repulsive a process it is.
Reassigned, yeah. Did somebody run? Yeah, she ducked instead of doing her fucking job. She couldn't get her pistol back in the holster. It was a mess.
And how feline and ruthless the players are. It was a reminder why I don't like politicians. I never deal with politicians. I deal with people who believe in things, and some I agree with and some I don't agree with, but they're all basically sincere. Even the wackos on the other side are generally sincere. They really mean it. And I kind of get that.
I don't think, and this might be a little bit of cynicism on my part, but I genuinely do not believe that most people believe what they say. I think they are saying what they think they have to say, but I genuinely don't believe that these people believe it.
And because I may be wrong, I certainly have been, but I mean it. But you deal with political people and they don't mean it. All they mean is they want power. That's it. And there's been a lot of jockeying because there are a couple big jobs. Well, one big job, which was just awarded. And it's crazy to watch politicians around power. So there's this job. One person makes the decision, and whoever gets the job immediately has a lot of power. And it really is like waving a flank state over an alligator. They're just jumping up and snapping in the air. But they're not doing it in a straightforward way.
Jesus.
I mean,
because that's what these people want. They don't really care about the good of American citizens. They don't really care about any of that. They always want more power. What can they do to get more power? How can they secure themselves and their friends and their lobbyers more power? Because that's all it's ever about. They are willing to sell out any single American citizen at any given moment in time for a little bit of power or a little bit of money. That's how all these people are.
I've always wondered, I spent 35 years in Washington, and there are politicians I liked, but I just couldn't help but notice that every single one of them had a weird personal life. Almost every single one. Not all, but most of them. Something they were hiding. They were secretly gay, or they were into drugs, or alcoholic, or they're cheating on their wife, or whatever. And I thought, this is not a random sample of the population. Like, my neighbors aren't living like this. Why is all of the U.S. Congress? And I'm not being mean. I know it sounds like something you say just to be nasty about a group you don't like, but I'm being sincere. Why is that? Why are so many politicians living lies? And it's because
if they showed who they really were, nobody would be interested in them or what they offer.
That's who they are. I mean, deception is at the core, actually, of who they are. And when you watch them pursue power, it comes right out. Rather than just saying, you know, I think we should do this because here's the outcome. And I think we should avoid that because there's the disaster that will result. It's always, if you do this, I'll give you something secret.
And that's what most of it is. I want this thing, you have this thing, quid pro quo.
It's like the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, and I haven't been around it in a while, and I just watched it up close over the last 24 hours, and I thought, man, I'm glad I'm not around this very often. However, it's worth making yourself see it, and in some cases go through the process because it actually matters. I guess that's the other thing that I learned. So now J.D. Vance is the VP pick, and I think every person who pays close attention has got to be thrilled by that. And if you don't know much about J.D. Vance, I'm not even going to make a case for J.D. Vance. I'm going to tell you what I just saw, which is that
I'm really not thrilled with the J.D. Vance pick. That's just me. Other people might disagree. I don't think he is the best pick they could have had. Vivek would have been much better, in my opinion. Literally anybody else, honestly. It would be a shame for a 43.28 donut. I don't remember what that one is. Why you know worky? A Shadow Claw. Thank you very much for the $1. And yes, I saw that.
Bad person I've ever met in a lifetime in Washington was aligned against J.D. Vance. And I do think the negative case is often more powerful, because I know of myself, I do not think I'm a particularly good person. I have strong reasons for feeling that way. I don't always think that my side is right. I know for a fact I have been wrong many, many times. And I hope to correct and be honest about my error. So it's not like I think that, I'm always, God's always on my side. Sometimes I'm not on God's side. But I definitely know who's representing the other side. It's a lot easier to tell who the people who are only in it because they like, I don't know, killing other people in pointless wars. Like, I know who those people are. And their odor is so powerful that I can smell one when he walks in the room.
You can always tell by what they say. Tulsi would be another good shout. Vivek or Tulsi would have been way better than J.D. Vance. The based gates. Well, we have Christmas donations turned on right now, so you would not have gotten it anyway. And I think the number on that one's changed. Vance just, he kind of strikes me more Rhino-ish, if that makes sense. He seems more of an older school Republican, a Lindsey Graham type, a Nikki Haley type than an AF type in America First.
And every single one of those people in a line that would extend from Milwaukee to Chicago was lined up over the last week to knife J.D. Vance. Not on personal grounds. I mean, he's a perfectly nice guy. He's like one of the only members of the Senate with a happy marriage. True. But because they thought he would be harder to manipulate and slightly less enthusiastic about killing people. That's it. That he would be an impediment to their exercising power. And boy, they went after him in a way I've just kind of never seen. Which I think happens every day in Washington. I just don't have a vantage on it because I'm far, far away and grateful to be. And again, I was just reminded that this process is so ugly that normal people do not want to participate in it. And yet normal people have to suck it up and do so anyway because the consequences are just so profound and so very serious. That's the first thing I was reminded of. And the second thing I was reminded of, and I've been thinking about this for the last 15 months since I spoke at Heritage's 50th anniversary, which was the beginning of a total change in the way that I see the world, is that this is not
process of elimination. That's what I was trying to remember. Process of elimination. I went through the process of elimination on the fucking the computer. I really think it's going to end up being the fucking interface. God damn it.
Ultimately political.
I'll know for sure.
This is much deeper. And I think what happened on Saturday, the assassination attempt against President Trump, reminded a lot of people this, or awakened a lot of people to this. There is a spiritual battle underway. There is no logical way to understand what we're seeing now in temporal terms. You just can't. These are not political divides. There are forces, and they're very obvious now, they've decided for whatever reason to take off the mask, whose only goal is chaos, violence, destruction.
Until they get what they want. After they get what they want to use that as a threat to hold on to their power.
And there are the rest of us who, once again, are not always certain we're right, but we know that that's bad, and we're against that. Sort of standing watching, thinking, is someone going to explain to me why this is politics? This is not politics at all. This is much deeper and older and more recognizable than that. This has been going on since the beginning of time. And I do think, by the way, that the more literal among us, and I would count myself in that category, fail to see this because we're so desperate to ascribe some kind of recognizable human motive to what we're seeing. So we call it leftism or neoliberalism or communism or anarchism. We come up with some phrase.
Johnny Bonsacco, thank you for the raid. Much appreciated, sir.
To describe it, but those phrases are inadequate. They do not describe what's actually happening. So what you're seeing now is really
helps him get a new interface or a shack in the wilderness with a shitload of stamps here. Thank you, Dirt Merchant. And how do I word this without giving it away? I need an interface. I don't need a shack in the woods.
not at all different in substance from what you saw in 1789 in France, from what you saw in 1936 in Spain, from what you saw in 1917 in Russia, from what you saw in 1975 in Phnom Penh. It's all the same. These are forces of chaos and destruction which are fundamentally anti-human, which are against people. By the way, explain that for a second. What kind of movement could be against people? There are all sorts of movements that are against people now. Transhumanism, AI is inherently anti-people.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know why I'm even hemming and hawing about this. Yes, AI is inherently anti-human. It is, how do I put this? It is a push to make humans obsolete.
The climate cult is inherently anti-people. Explain that rationally. If your view of the world is, as mine was, derived by an understanding of evolutionary biology. All of us have been raised to see the world through the lens of evolutionary biology. The species does what it does because it's acting in its own interest, and its own interest is to procreate, to pass on its genes, to continue. And so you tell me what we're looking at if the defining movements of our time are against carrying on our genes, procreating, continuing.
The defining what it is a push to make certain people more powerful, more make their life. It's a push of laziness.
Continuing. Is that human? Well, no. Is there any other animal species that kills itself? No. Is genocide known in the natural world? No, it doesn't even make sense. Dogs don't commit genocide against other dogs, maybe against rabbits. That's because they're hungry. But no animal decides to eliminate itself because it's unnatural, so it doesn't happen. No animal commits suicide. That's not found in...
Yeah, thank you, Luna. Lies for lazy power.
In nature, okay? That's something outside of nature. That's supernatural. And that's what we're seeing, but it's also what we've seen again and again and again throughout history. There are forces within every society, because they reside in the human heart, that are against people. They are dedicated...
Dumb people have more kids. There's a movie about that. Idiocracy. That was a damn good flick.
To the destruction of people.
Thank you, Simon, for sharing it out on the Twits. Much appreciated, sir.
And the civilizations that people build. And if you pay any attention at all to history, you will recognize it. It's like, wait a second, people are saying exactly the same things. The climate people, the AI people, the transhumanist people, the Biden administration, they're saying exactly the same kinds of things, the same themes that every other movement of this kind, and they had a million different names for them throughout history, were also saying. That's the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed is, what do all of these movements over the past 2,000 years have in common? Who do they hate most? As you can tell by what I said about J.D. Vance, I think you learn very much by taking a look at who's mad at whom and about what. So if there's something that threatens you, pay close attention to what makes them angriest. It's certainly true in my business, which is the speech business. What are they trying to get you not to say? What are they punishing you for saying? Those are likely to be the truest things. Not the falsest things. It's not misinformation. It's not disinformation. It's truth. That's why you hate it, obviously.
When somebody is lying, telling blatant, unrealistic lies, they don't feel the need to make them shut up with force or with government action. People just know that somebody's lying.
It's obvious now. It took me about 10 years to figure this out. I'm not a super genius. But what group do they dislike most? What group are they absolutely terrified of and hoping to eliminate? Well, it's Christians. That's who it is. It's Christians.
Think about it this way. The WEEEOOOWEEOOWEEO people, there was a black Jesus who was the smartest. Those people don't get banned off of platforms. Keep that in mind.
And I'm saying this as not a particularly fervent, lifelong Christian. I am a Christian, but I haven't spent my life, surrounded by plumes of incense deep in prayer. I spent my life in a newsroom saying the F word. I mean, I'm not sort of a pious person at all. But I try to be a noticer since I'm paid to do that. And the group that makes them angriest, triggers them most, I guess we would say now, is Christians. Christian nationalism. People pray outside abortion.
Well, now it's the Jews, too.
Clinics. People who celebrate Easter and not Trans Visibility Day. These are their real enemies. But that's been true in every revolution in the past 2,000 years. It was true during the Cultural Revolution. There weren't many Christians in China. They were the first to be killed. It was true in the French Revolution. They beheaded nuns. What did the nuns do? Were the nuns really an impediment to progress? No, the nuns existed. And they pledged a higher fealty to Jesus. And that was their crime, and for that they were killed. It was true in the beginning of the Spanish Civil War. The communist side, which wasn't really communist at all, it was anti-Christian. Who's the first person they executed? Well, it wasn't a person at all. It was a statue of Jesus. And they opened fire on it with a firing squad.
Yes, that is definitely what needed to happen.
In a picture that when I was a child was famous, it's now probably forgotten in history, probably still available on Google as of this afternoon, you should look it up. But if you find yourself firing bullets at a statue, what you're really doing is revealing your deepest priority. And that's to kill Christians. And why? Well, I can't fully answer that question because I am hardly a theologian, but I do think it tells you everything. I think the most obvious reason is anybody who pledges a higher loyalty to the people in charge who believe themselves to be gods is a threat. But I think it's more than that because.
Okay, I'm gonna take a stance that is not congruent with this. I think that if you are a politician, if you are somebody leading the country, if you're somebody supposed to be in charge of the people, your first and foremost loyalty should not be to a religion or an ideological process. It should be toward the people you are supposed to be caring for and leading.
It's not every religion, actually. There are a lot of religions. I respect them all. By the way, I'm just a believer in faithfulness and acknowledging that you're not God. I'm probably the only right-winger in the world who's not bothered when I see Muslims praying 5 times a day. Amen. Anyone who acknowledges he's not God 5 times a day is not my enemy. That's how I personally feel. But it's not my religion. But it's actually not Islam or any other religion that makes these leaders angry. It's Christianity. It's the religion of Jesus that makes them angry. And that suggests that maybe there is something a little
I agree. Dual citizens should not be able to hold public office.
Deeper going on here. It's not just that they're in the way. Christians are hardly in the way. They're the most peaceable people there are. They worship a God who tells them not to hurt other people, to turn the other cheek, to pray for their persecutors. So it's not like they're disruptive. They're the opposite of disruptive, and yet they are the enemy. So you should know this, I think. I don't know if there are any Christians here or people who are, interested in continuing to live in the country you grew up in, but these are the terms, and these are the stakes. They are not the ones that we've been told they are, left versus right, Republican versus Democrat. I learned that the hard way in the last couple of days, watching the leaders of the Republican Party, not all the leaders, but a lot of them, some of the
most of the Republican Party leaders are terrible about America first.
Powerful and richest people in the party reveal who they really are. And it made me think that for the purposes of this election, let's be honest, Trump just won. He won.
Yeah, I think that picture, let me see if I can pull it up here. I know I got it. I know I got it. This picture. This right here just won Trump the election. It absolutely did. If this is not on every poster, every yard sign, vinyl, whatever, this just won him the election.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho,
Oh.
ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Here's a little scratch for the equipment fund. Oh, thank you, JK. Much appreciated. Fingers crossed it's not the equipment. Oh, shit, it is the equipment. Fingers crossed whatever I fucking do with it later does something. Thank you so much, JK. It's either the interface or the sound card. Or nope. Not doing it. Doing a show. Thank you, JK. Much appreciated. Knocking us up to damn near 10% to goal. If you guys want to help us edge toward the goal, Streamlabs is down below, but please make sure you like the stream and share it out. I don't know if we have any more unlockable donations down below. I have a couple I have to put in before tomorrow. 2250 is a new one. 300 over here, and the new stack. Yeah, so there's a couple.
Not only did he survive an assassination attempt, he stood up without knowing whether there were other shooters there. He stood up and faced the crowd and raised his hand and said, "Fight, fight."
Your computer's fine. It's just being temperamental today. It will fix itself tomorrow. I cannot wait for tomorrow to figure out if it fixes itself or not. That's the fun part.
Fight. That's it. You do that, you win. And by the way, I happen to notice that the crowd, which also didn't know whether there were other shooters, who watched Trump get shot in the face, they did not bolt. It wasn't like a fire in a theater, actually. They sat there, they watched him intently, and when he stood up, they applauded him, and many cried. Why is that? Because a brave leader gives his people heart. That's why. That's exactly why. So with that...
It's hard to disagree with that, given what we have seen. You can't disagree with it. We have seen these people have thrown everything they can at Trump, every which way, and it's still it did nothing. Okay. Yes, I can't wait till tomorrow.
Trump became president. I bet my house on it. And he defeated the Democrats. And on merit, by the way, not through the usual political scheming. I'll trade you a Senate seat for your vote. No. He did it by being a man in a nation of people who weren't quite, just being honest. Okay? He acted like a man, the kind of man I respect. And I think every person feels this way. Every person, no matter what you think of Trump. Because leadership isn't actually all about, the way you talk.
No, I've said it before. Trump is not somebody I am overly happy with. We saw how he led. He did a lot of stuff I don't A, agree with, or B, think was a good idea. But in certain terms, I think he is far and away one of the better presidents we've had. Bush. But, this just kind of makes me like him more.
It's about how brave you are. That's what people want. They want a brave leader. So he won 4 months before the actual election, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't have enemies. And the truth, and no one wants to say it, but it is true, a lot of the enemies are people who claim to be his friends in the political party that I voted for my entire life. And they seek to subvert him. And they seek to channel...
Dear Jesus, happy birthday to you.
Today is Christmas.
I don't care what anyone says. We're at war. Democrats drew first blood. I'm done playing now. I would say first blood was drawn 4 years ago during the Summer of Love. I think that's when I would say first blood was drawn. No, shit, I cannot wait till tomorrow. If I want to get a replacement, I have to order it today on Amazon. For the show Friday. Hopefully I can fix it tonight, but Jesus fucking Christ. Just gonna have to do it. We're just gonna do... Anyway, thank you, Knight of the Diamond Spoon. Much appreciated, sir.
All the energy into a super dark direction. And above all, I'm just telling you, this is the last thing I'll say, and I'm sure this is like very upsetting to everybody, but it's just, I just saw it. What do they care about? What do you want to know what they care about? They only care about war, that's it. That's what they care about. They don't care about immigration, obviously.
Hi, Sarah.
At all. Our country's being colonized by the rest of the world, no problem. They don't care about the economy, they're insulated from it. They don't care. And they certainly don't care that Trump has a naughty mouth, said something, untoward off camera. They could care less.
Tenacious D came out and said, next time you shoot a Trump, don't miss. That disappointed me. I would not expect anything different from people who have radicalized themselves into hating a meme instead of an actual person.
These are filthy people, right? Yeah, they're offended. No, they care about war. They want the power to kill. That's it. And that's the power, of course, everyone who wants to be God seeks to possess. That's why human sacrifice was the thing. I have the power to kill. Only God has the power over life and death. And that's the power they want.
Oh, it's just Kyle Gass? Same thing. It's people who have... And I feel like it is accurate to say that they have radicalized themselves. Because if you are this upset because a person you don't like is holding up, like, I know a lot of people really don't like Biden, but I have never seen any violent rhetoric against him. Not from anybody serious, anyway.
And Trump has stood in their way. Imperfectly, but Trump's the only president, since Jimmy Carter, most of my life, who hasn't committed us to a brand new war. That's what they hate about him. And that's what they were trying to change over the last couple of days. I saw it. That's all they cared about. And they lied about it, of course, and said all kinds of things that are like insane and totally untrue. But that was the motivator right there. And when Trump came out in 2016 and said the Iraq war was a mistake, which was very obvious to those of us who were in Iraq while it was going on, it was like news to nobody. It was shocking in Washington, and that was the point at which they sicked the FBI on him. They started bugging him. They decided we cannot have this guy because he was trying to limit their most important of all power, which is to hurt other people. And so you should just know this. That's what the stakes are. I think he's going to win. I think it's going to be really important to rolling back some of this insanity. But, there are a lot of people who have other agendas, and you should just be aware of that. Thank you so much for letting me spoil your afternoon with that stuff.
The people with other agendas is stuff we really have to keep an eye out for, because they always tell on themselves. And it is always apparent. And they want you not to talk about it.
Tucker, thanks for being here. Thanks for speaking the truth. And obviously, we have a lot that we can cover in a short amount of time. But let's start with a homework assignment.
Yes.
Based on what you just said, things have changed since Saturday. A lot of Americans in the center, and maybe even some Americans on the center left, saw that near tragedy, that near assassination of President Trump, and they realized, oh, maybe I've not quite figured out what's been going on. A lot of us have been in that category. You've talked about that yourself. We at Heritage have said that. What do you advise the people who are in this auditorium and also the people online to do with members of their family, friends, neighbor who still don't get it? What's the advice that you give us in having those?
I don't like that. I don't like the people still don't get it thing, because a lot of people don't live their life in politics. Some people just have a passing, Trump was okay. Biden's fine too. Trump was a little off-putting. But it's like, people don't live their lives in this, so I don't know. I don't like the people don't get it
conversations to bring them into.
I know more people right now who say that they're not going to vote or they don't like anybody than anything else.
This movement that Trump has built.
Well, I kind of feel at this point that first of all, anyone who thinks the status quo is a good idea is probably not convincible. If you let tens of millions of people into your country illegally, you destroy all your cities, you wreck the economy, you can't afford to go out to dinner, things aren't going well. And if you're willing to ignore that, then you're probably not someone I can persuade. So I would say that. Never give up on anyone, but probably best to just pray for those people.
Yes, Luna, that is very true. Same, JK.
People instead of talking about politics. I really think the core problem in the country right now is bad leadership, and by bad I mean weak, and I think more broadly weak men are the problem. You watch these schools indoctrinate kids and try and turn them into freaks, circus freaks, and in the country that
I don't think that is quite the broad issue that people make it out to be. It is an issue, but not as insanely everywhere. I have never been into a school that had a pride flag. You know what I mean?
I grew up in, the dad would just punch the counselor out. Put me in jail. I don't care. Like, you weirdo. I mean, that's like child molester stuff. Talking to my kids about sex without telling me. Where's dad? He should be beating the.
But while it is not a huge, all over the place issue, it is very odd that the left will die on the hill of allowing it to happen.
This person, like physically. And I'm happy to, I just said I'm against violence, but that's like a very basic, that's the most basic requirement of fatherhood, but also of leadership more broadly, is to be willing to die for the people in your care, period. And if you're not willing to do that, you're contemptible. And what is that? What are we looking at when we acknowledge that? Well, we're looking at the fact, which is strength is the basic requirement of leadership. Weak leadership is an oxymoron.
I had a soda today. A little off topic. I had a soda today. I had McDonald's and a McDonald's Sprite. I had a Big Mac with fries and a McDonald's Sprite. Dude, holy shit, that was so freaking good. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but it hit the spot perfectly.
And with weak leaders, a nation dies, a family dies, a weak father will destroy a family. A weak officer will get his men killed, and a weak president will wreck his country. And that's exactly what we've seen.
Thank you. Big Mac is goated. A quarter pounder is pretty good too. It was not $22. I think it was like $10.50 or something like that. But it hit the spot.
I mean, Biden's core problem is weakness. And what Trump displayed on Saturday was strength of the most basic kind that is absolutely impossible to fake. You can think whatever you want.
Meatball subs are my go-to for fast food. I am a heretic. I enjoy the one-off Subway meatball sub. Every once in a while, I just get such an insane hankering for those fucking weird meatballs, and I need it immediately.
Want about Trump, or whatever you've heard about Trump, you watch that tape, the guy is shot in the face and is bleeding.
Ooh, Jersey Mike's. You want to talk about goated? Jersey Mike's, that's fucking goated.
And forces the Secret Service to allow him to stand up and faces the crowd. I mean, all men, when they're boys, tell themselves, well, something happened, I would jump right in, and you know what I mean? Like, I'd stop the shooter. But you don't know that, actually, because you're not faced with it. I mean, very few people are tested in the way Trump was tested on Saturday, and not only did he pass, he got the highest score ever recorded. And so you can't look at that, and it's not.
All please consider donating 96 cents so we can afford one Big Mac meal. That's me and Taco Bell. It's dog shit food, but I love it. I fucks with Taco Bell. But I really, really enjoy Subway. It's terrible. It's not bad for you, but it's not good food. But holy mother of God, do I love Subway. I could probably eat Subway every.
Fakeable. That's just real. It's undeniably real. No one staged that. And so anyone who looks at that video, I think comes away thinking that person has to lead the country because the option is more destruction. That's what I think. Just watch the video.
You know, during your comment there and also your comment from the podium.
Okay. All right. I'm wondering if you've ever tried Freddy. No, but I've heard of it.
It occurred to me that C.S. Lewis's
My favorite food group is sandwich, yes.
great phrase, men without chests,
Yes.
is really apropos here. And not to go, you know, too intellectual or academic here, although remember, I do lead a think tank. It seems as if...
You know what I've had a lot of lately? And it's a thing that's still probably not great for you, but it's better than most. The Wendy's Caesar chicken salad. That shit, I use like half of the Caesar ranch packet. Oh, boy, does that hit the spot.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree. It seems as if Americans are saying
I'm going to have to find me a Freddy's.
Washington elites, New York elites, all of these elites have complicated life.
Let me throw it in the old Google machine. Freddy's fast food. A couple of cities away. It's a good little bit of a drive. I'll check it out.
And what Trump showed us in that moment of near tragedy, as you said, is just something basic. And what we're all yearning for is just a return to normal. And it is normal for a strong man, for a man, period, to respond the way you described to.
Stew is another solid one. Anything out of a bowl with a fork, I'm here for. Here's my question. Have you seen many? Yes, I have seen that. Just got Panera bread in our tiny town. Oh, Panera's S tier too. I don't give a fuck. It's overpriced hospital food, but it's fucking delicious.
Where have you two been?
Oop.
We went to go see Santa.
Aww.
And we killed him!
Oh.
The broccoli cheddar bread bowl. Get my dick hard. Maybe that's what I'll have for dinner. Does sound pretty good. I got the loads. Hold on, please. Upgrade rain check. Sin, your choice. All right, remind me Friday. I got you. Thank you. Yeah, Five Guys in this economy. Luna, yeah.
The school counselor, you know, with all this disorder, it's normal, although very, very heroic and on a tremendous scale for President Trump to have responded the way he did. But it shows how starved this country is for just normal things. What's your prediction for themes this week at the RNC from a messaging expert who's got his pulse on things? What should the campaign really focus on? Not just for President Trump and Mr. Vance, but for people out here in the audience and digitally who are going to be involved in local campaigns. What do we need to be emphasizing rhetorically?
Well, I mean, I think, can I say one thing really quick, which is the definition of strength, I think, needs to be a little more precise. Strength is not abusive behavior or authoritarian behavior. That's what weak people do. That's what Gretchen Whitmer did during COVID in the neighboring state of Michigan. This is a demonstrably weak person with a facelift who's like terrified to go out in public, and yet she's telling people they can't buy paint in a paint store. That's not strength. That's fragility. She is fragile and brittle, and that's why she's acting.
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is okay. I've never gone out of my way to get Chick-fil-A. Shelly and the kids really enjoy it, but I've never. If they get it, I'll get something, but nah.
In that way. True strength is calm. That's the first thing about strength. Someone who's actually strong is in command, doesn't need to prove it, because people can smell it. The second thing about strength is it serves others. Willingness to die for the people you lead is a prerequisite, okay? I'm not a...
Popeyes, though. Yes. Okay, we got to talk about Chuck. Guys, we've got like 15 minutes left of this. I have to go back up to the studio and destroy everything I own. Please smash the like button. Please share it out on your social medias. Streamlabs is down below. We are almost 20% to goal. We have a good stream boss right now, but that doesn't mean you can't change that.
Afraid, I'm willing to lay down my life for you. Okay, that's clearly...
Destroy everything. Oh, okay, yeah, some people might not have been here. The horrible, horrible audio issues. Couldn't even get the show started over there. I went through the process of elimination to see it is either the very expensive interface or the something with the computer, the sound card, or the motherboard, so I'll have to figure that out.
The message of strength. It's what Trump displayed on Saturday, and people's reaction to it is amazing. They instantly calm down. Dad's home. Everything is okay. It's received on a visceral level. So to the extent that the campaign, and I'm not a messaging person, obviously, I'm like half insane and can't stop talking, so I'm not good at messaging, but to the extent that they can convey that, you know, it's fine, actually. And I do think the campaign is trying to say that in its unity message. And a lot of people hear unity and they think, well, unity implies some sort of compromise, conversation. You can't have a conversation with people who are unwilling to compromise. The left, which is a religious movement.
Nothing about people right now on the left show that they're willing to meet a middle ground anywhere.
Is unwilling to compromise on any level at all. They won't even admit men can't become women. So how can you have unity with people like that? And of course you can't. But I think what they're really trying to say is, let's ignore some of the insanity, actually. Be in charge. You don't need to constantly remind people you're...
Holy fuck, we got a local joint here. They make 6 to 7 pound cinnamon rolls. They also make French bread, so imagine a 1 by 7 by 12 slice of cinnamon roll on French toast. Just made my mouth water. God damn.
In charge, just do it. I mean, a good father's not constantly telling you how hard he works to, you know, pay for the food you're eating.
I don't want Popeyes if I don't have to wear my plates there to get it.
He just does it. And
if I don't have to lock my door pulling into the parking lot, I don't want it.
You notice after a while, and you're calmed by that. And I think maybe that's the message. We don't need to respond to all this nonsense. You're too small to respond to. That's the way, that's what I would do. No one wants to hear, like, why is MSNBC still on the air? Nobody watches it. Same with CNN, nobody watches it. And if I look back on my life, I've worked at both CNN and MSNBC, so for me, it's, you know, the hatred is absolutely real.
I'm going to say it, Applebee's is the Nickelback of restaurants. It's popular to hate, but not bad when you're in the mood. I have never left an Applebee's and went, wow, that was a really good meal. Literally, the only thing I like to get there is maybe the Bourbon Street chicken thing and the spinach dip. That's it. I've never willingly went, let's go to Applebee's. That sounds like a fun day. Spend $500 on some fucking microwave food.
Real. But too much, though. Too much. Unhelpfully. Don't feel hatred. That itself is a sign of weakness, in my opinion, and a lack of self-discipline. But why are we even talking about them? Nobody watches. Nobody watches. I mean, my nephew get drunk and post something on X, and he's got more viewers than MSNBC primetime. I'm serious. So, like, why are we even giving them oxygen by engaging with them? Their audience is tiny. I hope that's part.
Well, that was your issue, Felda. You got a steak from Applebee's.
Part of what they're saying. I saw Don Jr., who is really my favorite person in Trump world, who really I think does understand, I shouldn't even be saying this, but it's true, understands the voters and how they feel on a real level, on a gut level. But I saw him
exactly. No good pizza's not made by a sweaty, fat Italian dude.
With MSNBC today, and they're like, you know, are you going to separate more families at the border? Really, you let in tens of millions of illegal aliens and wreck our country, and that's your concern? And he just looked at the guy, he's like,
I stand by the wonton tacos. So does Shelly. That's her go-to there.
Yeah, go away. Like, enough. He didn't yell at him. Just go away. I mean, it's not even worth it, actually. And I think that posture is kind of what's needed right now. I'm not going to engage with you. I've tried for 7 years now, 8 years, to have a conversation in good faith. I used to try to book these people on my show. Not one person would come on my show to debate the other side. And then, of course, I got fired anyway.
I am shocked, I tell you, that nobody is going to come debate him.
But it's like it's better just to be like calm and in command. And I think that restores tranquility to the country faster than any rhetorical argument you could make.
So that's high profile national example, which is great. And I also want to give some folks an idea of what they might be able to do locally. And it seems as if you're saying, whomever you are, national profile, don't engage with these outlets that are dying, don't give them the oxygen, that there's also a lesson that...
I'm not going to let what Kyle Gass said make me not like Tenacious D. I'm still absolutely going to bang the fuck out of Fuck Her Gently at every turn. It's fine. I don't have to like you to enjoy the stuff you make.
There about what we might do at the local level. What I hear most of all as I'm traveling the country from people like in this audience, I know you do as well, is, Kevin, what advice do you have for me talking to my local school board, talking to my local city council? They, of course, want to cancel us, but at some point, people are going to those meetings, especially school board meetings, because they are invested in it with their own kids and grandkids. What's your advice for them? Because and I think you know this, but our rationale at Heritage in asking that question is, we want this to be not just about DC and New York power centers. We want America. Promoting
people that hate you is weak. I don't care. I separate the art from the artist. It is what it is. I'm not going to deprive myself of things that I enjoy just because somebody else said something that I don't like. That's silly.
Americans after Saturday's tragedy to understand this is also about what we're doing in our lives on a daily and weekly basis, and to give people that advice about how to expand the ranks of this movement locally.
Well, I think Saturday is the inspirational moment to do that. And what's the lesson of Saturday? I mean, there are probably many lessons. One is, like, if a guy 150 feet away at a political rally climbs a ladder with a rifle, you know, maybe...
Exactly. Kyle Gass is always a hippie shithead. Doesn't mean I don't like what he's done. It doesn't matter.
This whole system is not quite...
I'm not debating with you guys on my enjoyment of Tenacious D. It just is what it is.
What we were told it is. Okay. Sorry. So there's that. But the big picture takeaway is bravery is the essential quality. It's the essential quality. What's the takeaway from Saturday? Trump's going to be president because he's brave. Period. Period. Like, actually brave. Physically brave. Like, facing death. Shot in the face.
How do you feel about all the doxing and cancel culture right-leaning people have been doing the past few days? Well, I have not seen any of this, so I would need an example. But generally, as a base rule, I am against that for the most part. There are exceptions when imminent violence is threatened or if children are in danger. I think there's exceptions to be made, but other than that, by and large, it is a cringe.
And unbowed, unafraid, defiant. And that's the only thing that works. And I do think there's been so...
Libs of TikTok has been on a fucking rampage of doxing. That's one of those things that I follow just to kind of be like, you realize that this is exactly what you've been fighting against for years. Like, the lack of self-awareness in some of these people is mind-boggling.
So much whispering among the persecuted right about, wow, you know, does this come to a time when we have to, like, physically fight back? And I don't think it takes that. It doesn't. You don't have to hurt anyone to save your country. You have to be willing to be hurt, however, period. You have to be willing to make a sacrifice. You do. And I think people are cowards. I'm just saying that. Sorry. No one in particular. There are an awful lot of cowards.
I agree, too, but I am also one of the cowards.
Me, sometimes, too. But Trump is a reminder that doesn't work. The only thing that works is bravery.
Mark Hamill's a liberal piece of shit, but I still love the OG Star Wars. You have to... Yeah, if you cut out every little bit of art that is made by people who you don't like their opinion on one thing or another on, or they don't like your opinion on one thing or another on, you're not going to enjoy anything except, are you going to watch Steven Crowder all fucking night?
So if you walk into a school board meeting, the first thing they do is seize the moral high ground unjustly. These are the people who have the least claim on the moral high ground. They're amoral. They're filthy, actually. They're sexualizing your children. They should be in prison. But somehow they manage through rhetorical tricks to make you feel like you're the freak because you want them to get their tentacles off your kids.
Well, yeah, you're not going to gaslight me into thinking that it's okay for you to talk to my kids about this kind of stuff. It's just not going to happen.
And you've already lost if you allow that. And so the way to approach them, I mean, it's a matter of employing words, but moral force. You will not do that. I will not accept that under no circumstance. I will do everything I can as long as I draw breath to stop you from doing that to my children. You have no right. What you're doing is totally immoral. It's criminal, and I will stop you. Period. You don't.
Here's a good example of my thought process on this. John Cusack. He has me personally blocked on Twitter. But guess what? I still think he is a fucking amazing actor. And I still enjoy his movies. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to get upset listening to Tenacious D drunk out of my mind at the bar thinking, oh, Kyle Gass wouldn't like me if he ever met me. I don't give a fuck.
Don't need to scream.
How did that happen? Who remembers?
And I think to say, when people approach you and say, well, if you're against this, you're a racist, or if you're against that, you're a...
What are your thoughts on the VP pick? Does that answer your question?
Whatever, they call you names, someone who's been called a few names. I can promise you that not one person calling you names believes.
Holy shit, Kyle was fired by his talent agency and Jack said he's ending all future creative projects. Duh, that fucking... Ay. Now,
Believes that you are those things, or even...
We've got about, at the rate we're going, another half an hour left, but we have 10 minutes of this video left. So if you guys could smash a like, share it out, do all that fun stuff. Streamlabs down below. We are right up there at almost 20%. If we get half, I know it's a lot, 113. If we get halfway, well, that'd be a big Witcher and a fuck them kids, actually. But if we can get to halfway, I think we can get a little horse cock action for Viper. And, knock on wood, tap. We have not been kicked off the tubs. So I think I found a way around this.
Even cares. In fact, they're almost always those things themselves. It's purely a leash around your neck designed to control you. It's a manipulation device. Everyone here knows that already. We've been going through this for many years. And so if you're still worrying about it, then that's on you.
Thanks, Dilsey.
You. Like, I don't care what you call me, actually. I also don't care if you put me in jail. I really don't.
Horse what now? Oh, okay. Old meme.
I mean, Gandhi, I have mixed feelings about Gandhi, but he did end the Raj after he kicked the British out of India after 300 years. And all he did was talk and just stand there and be obstreperous in a peaceful way. And that worked.
Does Polly know you can't talk with John Cusack? I don't know. But I know Polly's another cat who really loves Cusack. Yikes must be new. I think Yikes Artist is new on this side of things. But they are a donated wrench holder on the Sin and Sash channel.
Worked. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that, but that's...
Educate my sibling. I can't do it till we hit the mark. Nothing I can do about it.
That's kind of fundamentally what...
My hands is tied.
Happened. One guy was like, no. As Solzhenitsyn famously said, to bring down a tyranny, it takes one man who will tell the truth. That's it. And so I think it is as simple as that. I really do believe that.
Oh, thanks, Nanya. Much appreciated, buddy.
It's childlike, but it's demonstrable in history, and it's clearly true now. You don't need to... I mean, I would definitely not give up your guns ever under any circumstance.
Yeah, I wasn't going to. I don't need to be told that any time. Don't give up your guns. Yeah, that was already not happening.
And they're going to try and make you do, the real lesson of the shooting is you shouldn't be able to defend yourself. I don't think it is.
Yikes says, clearly I'm missing out here. Oh, you indeed are. You most certainly are. But I can't do anything. Oh no, do I not have the asset? Oh no. Do I have it here? Yeah, there it is. I can't do anything without getting to the thing.
The real lesson is
Police be a fart. Police be a fart. I should be fine if I don't push too hard. Police be a fart. Police be a fart.
Well, my
Police be a fart. I should be fine if I don't push too hard. I need a bathroom cause I just shit it. I need a bathroom cause I just shit it. I need a bathroom cause I just shit it when I thought it was a bar. Police be
Call to Crawl says, happy birthday, Ammo. We're crossing the streams here. Hold on. I didn't even have it pulled up. We're crossing the streams.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Chantal. Happy birthday to
Lady Montessori's. Happy birthday, Ammo. Ooh, Ham and Beans is calling for the $5 Stream Boss Wars. Ooh, we haven't had a good one of those in a long time.
you're dangerous.
I need to check out everything from now on. Dude, this lore runs deep. This lore runs very deep.
And you can't have power, actually, because you caused this, as we all know. So, but the point is,
JK, that is literally the first thing I looked up. It is on sale from when I paid for. When I bought it, it was $350, and it is on not even Prime Day sale for $341. So I guess technically, a thing I did need though was on sale though, so that was pretty cool. I snatched up a couple of goodies. Did you guys get anything on your Amazon Prime Day sale? I got a. Ooh, where is my clicker? That is 2. Damn it. 2 on the $5 Stream Boss Wars. I picked up, those shoes didn't go on sale, but I still grabbed them. An inverter that I needed, and some other little things, hoodies, some clothing, little stuff.
don't let them seize the moral high ground. Stay calm, stay assured in your spirit that you are right, and be willing to make an actual sacrifice.
What I know, right? $9 off a $350 thing. What a steal! What I wanted was on sale, so I'm gonna wait for payday. Well, if you want something right now, talk about a steal. You can grab StreamBoss for only $5 American on Streamlabs.
On behalf of your family and your country, and if you're not willing,
if you donate more than $5, you're gonna fuck it up. So $5.
Well, then the country's gonna go to them.
Darrell, 3 on the StreamBoss change.
That's just true.
One of the other lessons I think too is how disordered the left is regarding the centrality
Prime Day is today and tomorrow
of politics. I mean, you even said it here a few moments ago that politics in essence is religion for them. And it seems to me that we, not just we on the right, but just we, period, as Americans, whatever our political ideology may be, ought to reject that concept and understand that there are things so much more important than politics. In other words, to be engaged...
That is a nice hat you have, Darrell.
In that kind of framework with the left, we're always going to lose, or often going.
It's not much. What did that say? It's not much, but anything for a horse cock. You know, there's some sentences that just exist over here that I'm very content with.
Going to lose. I've heard you talk about living the good life, and I've reflected on that since Saturday night, from that moment as I was standing with my 14-year-old daughter who was sobbing because we thought the absolute worst when we first saw the news, as I'm sure everyone did. But then I realized, here's a moment, in addition to the politics and the policy, which are important, where we've really got to get back to, especially us here, to living the good life. What advice do you have for us for keeping this in perspective?
It's same, Crayus, but sometimes some good shit pops up.
Thank you. I mean, I think about this every day. I mean, one of the lies about...
Why would you pay for Amazon Prime when you can help a new Yikes experience the horsecock? The answer is simple, Streamlabs. Nice. I don't understand what you're not going to bring up, but okay. A Knight of the Diamond Spoon coming in for 5 on the Stream Boss change. Nicely done.
Living in a certain way is that you have to be rich, and it's hard for me to say because I made a lot more money than I ever thought I would. So it's like, oh yeah, rich guy lecturing us about, you know, how to live. But if you saw how I actually lived, I think you'd see it could be done pretty cheaply. I'm not into spending money. No, I mean, for me, the good life is a life that's rooted in physical reality, actually. I think one of the main problems with the modern world is how abstract, which is to say digital, everything is. And I find it essential to maintaining happiness and clarity.
Nanya for the 5. Let's go. I like how it's Stone Cold Steve Austin, what was it? The Stone Cold Steve Austin, Stone Cold Stunnering Santa to take out the Stream Boss. Jesus Christ, that was a fucking mouthful.
Clarity and perspective to get away from that. If my rule is if I can't smell it, it's not really real. And I believe that. I really do. I sniff everything and everybody in my... I'm not joking at all.
You sound like...
Ooh, Nanya. I gotta talk to you about something later. I was thinking about you today.
Joe Biden.
I mean it. I defended his hair sniffing because I do the same, and I'm not ashamed of it. But I'm not a weirdo or a creep. I didn't shower with my daughter, so it's cool.
Okay, Dirt Merchant. Just let me know.
When I think it's defensible when I do, but...
Did Sin just do a Biden? No, that's a difficult fucking sentence. You try it. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Stone Cold Stunnering Santa. Did you say it 3 times fast, motherfucker? So I buffered. Julie Jinx, I want the horsecock too. Duly noted. I'm Blackout with $5 Stream Boss Wars. Have you wanted your name up on the biggest screen? Do you want to give a meatball friend some money? Spend $5. Let me take it from the top and give it the proper thing. Hi, I'm Blackout with $5 Stream Boss Wars. Have you wanted your name on the biggest screen? Do you want to give your meatball friend some money? Spend $5 and you too can help get the horse weenie. Because there's no weenie like stallion weenie. Nanya just says, let's go. But no. You know what an elephant is, Sin? Yes, I do know what an elephant is.
The point is, don't spend your life in a fake world. Spend your life with other people who you can touch and smell and whose eyes you can
8 on the Stream Boss, by the way.
See, I think animals are incredibly important. I really believe that. The older I get, I think it's really important. God created animals. We have dominion over them. It doesn't mean that they're totally different from us. They're not. And there's something about animals that brings us back to reality. I could never live without dogs. We have a lot of dogs. I think it's very important. It's not just like, oh, it's my pet. It's like, no.
No, dogs are family. You know what? Hey, mate. I have a snack I can bribe this fat. Hey, mate. Outside.
It's an expression of God's creation of beauty.
Nanya. Woo, Stream Boss yet again. 9. Oh, come here, Evie. Hey. You gonna give me an AWOOOO? Come here. Here. Oh, here. Let me turn this one on so people can hear you better. No, big. This is good. No, get big. This is a good treat. Big. Okay. That's all I'm gonna get from you. Thank you, Eve.
And I think nature and trees are just essential. I could not live without them. I don't understand how people can live in glass cubes on the 27th floor in Midtown. I think it's terrible for you. I think it's wrong that we would encourage that.
You like dags?
And I don't think a lot of the things that are described as progress are...
Are you going to give me a bigger AWOOOO? There we go. That's what I want.
Progress at all. I think that they are...
Let's do more. Horsecock and Meatballs. What a hell of a YouTube channel. Hey, man. We do what we can. And Daryllo, thank you very much. Daryllo and Knight of the Diamond Spoon. 11.
Our imprisonment, and I think technology is a mixed.
All right,
blessing
Nanya,
at
I will.
best. I really do. I feel that I have very extreme views on this, which I'm not going to share with you because I don't want to reveal how crankish and crazy I really am on this subject. But
I'm not going to tell her you said that, Woodhead.
we accept technological progress as progress when it's enslavement, actually, and that's super off.
No, I think that's a little bit silly. It's a little bit silly. Technological progress is not inherently enslavement.
Obvious, no one does anything about it. Or you hear people say in like think tank world or cable TV news world, "Oh yeah, we're spending too much time on our phones." It's like, no, actually, we really are, and it's destroying our souls and making us crazy and unhappy and dividing us, most importantly, from one another. So take affirmative, very aggressive. Like, don't allow a cell phone in your bedroom, you weirdo. What? No, don't allow it in the bedroom. I wouldn't allow, a circus elephant in my bedroom. Too disruptive.
That's where I charge my phone.
Don't allow an iPhone. Just like, how's that? So for at least
and it's my alarm clock.
8 hours a day, I don't have that. There are other activities that the bedroom was designed for. And your phone or whatever. Anyway, take that seriously, I think, and get outside. And if you're not married, just grab someone off the street and do it. It's not that hard.
That's called kidnapping. No, big. Big. Eve, we need big hours. No, big. That's lower. You're getting so excited. There we go. Oh, dummy. I missed it.
Hard. I mean it. I half mean that, actually. It's not. I don't think it's that. It's never been hard for me.
This is the danger of asking you an open-ended question.
I know, because as I said, luckily I begin all comments with the.
She was stomping her paws. She wanted the fucking treat so bad.
Caveat: I am half insane, which is demonstrable.
Last question, a little open-ended. It's January 2029. President Trump is giving his farewell address. We tend to, on the political right, think in worst-case scenario terms, but we at Heritage, as you know, try to get people to think in best-case scenario terms. What's the best-case scenario for the message regarding what he's accomplished, but also, more importantly, where the country's going?
Well, by far the most important question is...
Nadia said, don't tease the pupper. I'm not. I just wanted to know.
Does the country hold together? And the country can only hold together if there is a consensus view, not a universal view, but a consensus view, a majority view, on what it is to be an American. It's not a racial group. It's not a linguistic designation. The population of the country has changed so radically in such a short period that it risks breaking apart because not enough people have enough in common with one another. That would be a tragedy. That would never end well, despite the fantasies you read on Twitter about.
The other one. She don't do it. She just walks around the house doing this. What? What? Okay. Thank you.
About how we, that's not going to happen without massive bloodshed. You don't want that to happen, period. So
No, and I hate the people who... That was Otter. I hate the people... Get off the desk. She wasn't on the desk. She's in the hallway, like 7 feet away from the microphone. I hate people idealizing the idea of an American Civil War. Like, Tim Pool does it a lot, and it really bugs me. Because the last thing that I could conceivably want to happen is my fellow Americans being hurt by other Americans. Like, that is just that is absolute worst case scenario. That would be bad for everybody involved. Yeah, you'd get to do what you want to do with your guns and all that shit. Okay, fine, cool. But that is absolute worst case. Like, I can't imagine anything worse than that coming to fruition. And the idea that people want it to is scary.
We want the country to hold together, but it can only hold together if most people understand that they are Americans, because why? What do they have in common? It can't just be competing groups who are
Colt, thank you. I will save that for Friday.
trying to screw the other ones out of some prize, you know, some money that other people made. That's very quickly where we're going. And so above all, after avoiding nuclear war, which has got to be the first one, and only Trump will do that, and J.D. Vance, everyone else was like totally into nuclear war. All the other people he was considering, like, let's have a nuclear war.
And you know what? Actually, it is right up there with the idea of nuclear war. Like, civil war, nuclear war, both bad news.
Okay. Children.
A lot of people want America to fall. That is exactly what would happen if there was a civil war. America would fall. We would open ourselves up to much more insane outside attack or influence. Bad idea. The idea exists on both sides. 100%. Oh, I won't forget Liz. Thank you.
Anyway, so after that, the most important...
Liz mailed me a picture of her tits.
Long-term question is, what do we all have in common? And
it's a Polaroid.
Only a leader can establish that. It doesn't need to be explicit, by the way. I don't think Trump's going to give a speech when he's president saying, here are the 5 things we require of every American, or every American must believe. It's not quite that simple, but there has to evolve a sense of what we have in common.
Dirt merchant.
What we share. Because we don't look alike, we don't speak the same language often.
Knight of the Diamond Spoon, where's my clicker? That is 13. Nicely done. Nicely done. Communists are not my fellow Americans. I have no problem. I get your sentiment, but I cannot read it. Sorry.
Sometimes we don't have the same religion.
I'm just kidding. It was delicious, delicious snacks. You see Tom McDonald track, he dropped like 10 hours of the attempted Kennedying of Badman. No, I haven't, but drop me a link. I'll watch it after the show.
Religion. So what is it we have in common? That has to be the overriding goal.
Old school noodles.
Above all others. And the last thing I'll say is I think the big change in the last week is the social sanction levied against people for supporting Trump is disappearing fast. It is. One of the reasons this was such a divided country is that people were not allowed, like normal white-collar professionals, were not allowed to even consider the possibility that Trump might be less than Hitler.
Ooh, okay, yes.
And now I think they can.
I'm guessing no Polly show tomorrow. I don't know why we wouldn't. He got his laptop working, so unless he can't stream from that, then I am going to go off of the assumption that we will be having a show tomorrow.
I do. I think after Saturday, that is the big change. People are like, maybe I didn't like Trump. I didn't vote for him the first time, but all of a sudden I'm seeing, I don't know, Elon Musk just endorsed him. I think the country's largest government contractor, a guy with an awful lot to lose. If there was anyone with a lot to lose, yeah, he's the richest guy in the world. Okay. He's also got the most to lose in the world. And that guy just endorsed Trump publicly about 5 minutes after the shooting. That is a watershed, in my opinion. Bill Ackman, someone I don't agree with on a lot of things. Bill Ackman, also a lot to lose. Someone who's, I doubt, ever voted for a Republican.
Well, where's Drunkle? He said he wasn't feeling super hot.
Those are signals to the rest of the country. Again, these are not people I necessarily agree with on the issues at all. However...
Oh, shit, we're like $57 from that horsecock.
What those gestures signal to everyone else, it's like, well, I guess I could do that if I wanted to also. That is a prerequisite for national healing and for national unity. Doesn't mean you have to agree with someone. In other words, if somebody said to me 4 years ago, like, you're not allowed to support Joe Biden. Well, I never supported Joe Biden. Of course, I don't agree with him on anything. I didn't yet hate Joe Biden. I now do. I'm ashamed to say I actually hate Joe Biden. But I don't want
yeah.
to feel that way, but I do. I do because he's wrecking my country. My kids live here. But if someone said to me 4 years ago, you're not allowed to support Joe Biden, I said, that's a bad thing. You should.
I'm just going to throw it out there now. We're going to keep a real tight show Friday. It's my my real good friend's birthday, so we're going to be going out with them at like 7:30, so I got to keep a real tight show.
To support any candidate you want. This is a free society. It's a free country. It's a free country, a phrase that was common in my youth and now extinct, but it is still a free country. It must remain a free country. And in order for that to happen, you have to have the right as the average person to support anyone you want. And I do think you now have the right to support Trump, and that's the beginning of healing for us.
Santa baby,
and there it is.
Sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight.
14 on the stream, boss. Horsecock and 2 more upgrades for Friday. You got it, buddy. Horsecock, as soon as we're done here. I just got to make sure everything's pulled up. Oh, and we are done here.
Tucker, thanks for being here. Thanks for...
Look at that. Look at that timing. I just got to wait for Soundpad to pop up. Hold, please. It's Ammo's birthday. You're taking her out for dinner. Nice guy sitting. No, it's my friend's birthday. It's a girl I won the beer pong tournament with. Her birthday. Her bear day. Oh, what? Everything. Just open up, would you? Fuck. Right. Okay. No, it's fine. Close. Jesus. Where is it? There it is. This goes here. Close this out here. Feels like my birthday with that down. Oh, ain't that a motherfucking fact? All right, we're gonna have to go here, I believe. Do we have the assets working? Oh yeah. Viper, this one goes out to you.
'Cause there is no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole into shock. You need horse cock, of course cock. Grab the lube and slam the day away. As I take more cock, horse cock. Shut the door and turn the lock. Is your cock a horse cock? You will never hear me saying nay.
A classic. An absolute classic. But that is where we get out of here tonight, guys. Fostonia with a super solid hold on stream, boss. I will see you all tomorrow. That is true, Nanya. You do have a record of doing that. Thank you guys so much for an amazing show. Sorry again for the early start, all that fun stuff. I will see you all tomorrow on the Silent Sin channel and then over on the Polydub channel. Good night, everybody.